It's the Kodiak Tremolo pedal by JHS. We're going to take this thing and we're going to find out what it can do today right here on GearGasms. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host Alan Barnes. Today we have the JHS Kodiak Tremolo pedal. Alright, all you pinheads, this here is the unboxing that you crave. As you can see, made of cardboard, got a sticker here. Now inside, speaking of stickers, you get a sticker. A piece of paper. You also get the little feet that you can choose to put under your pedal. Get the tiniest little pin to put on your tiny little girly tremolo playing jacket. You get a pick. We're going to plug it in. We're going to noodle a little bit, see what we can do with it. But first, the data. It has a tap tempo function. You don't find that on too many of these guys. You can actually tap your tempo in. And over here it has a knob, kind of like a delay pedal, where you can do eighth notes, quarter notes, dotted eighth, all that kind of thing. It also has an expression pedal on the side. It has a little switch, so you can switch it from expression to tap tempo. Obviously, you have a speed knob. It has a mix, which is, again, very, very interesting in that sometimes you want just a little bit of a tremolo flutter, but you don't want it to cut off your attack. With the mix, you can control just how much of that is underneath your actual guitar signal. 4 very interesting modes. It has sine wave, which is the old school kind of tremolo from the 60s. The next setting is a syncopated kind of tremolo, and I'll show you what that is. You'll definitely hear what that is. The next one is ye old square wave, which is a more modern choppy style tremolo. And the last one is a ramp. All right, set up picture in picture right here. Of course, got Gene and Paul in the shot because nothing says tremolo like Kiss. Before I punch it in, I'll let you hear the unaffected tone. I'm using the orange, just a touch of reverb, just because I feel like it needs a little bit. Now, of course, sine wave is what I call the classic tremolo. It's kind of, for lack of a better term, the CCR tremolo. Let's crank that speed up just a bit. Of course, when the speed's up a little bit, you can certainly hear it more to get those sounds. Now let's say that sound makes you kind of seasick. This has a mixed control on it. Not all tremolo pedals do. Let's tweak that back to its where fitty. All right, let's go to another mode. Let's go to this here, R. This is a syncopated tremolo, and what that means, instead of just being a steady beat like it's and so it's a little more rhythmic and it's very different. I don't know of any other tremolo pedal that has that. Let's see what it does. Let's try that with the speed down a little bit. I like. So let's find out if maybe, again, that's not quite, we don't want it that strong. Let's throw the mix in with the are we going to do next? We're going to look at the last two modes. Got a big old square over here on the dial. That is a square wave tremolo, and what that is, instead of being like the 60s classic sine wave based tremolo, this is a very, very choppy helicopterish tremolo. Full fart. Now, one thing it's doing or not doing that I sort of expected it to here, I really expected it to almost be like a kill switch sort of choppiness, but it's not taking it all the way out. But it's definitely more pronounced than the sine wave, and it's certainly more percussive. It's definitely pulling the amplitude up and down a lot more sharply. Now, as you can see, here's where the mix control really comes in handy, because a tremolo will cut off your attack. You may want that if you have a sloppy attack like I do. Maybe you don't want that so much. So again, our friend the mix control. As you can see, that gave it a very sort of Mayor of Simpleton XTC kind of vibe. I dig that. Let us go finally, lastly, to the ramp. And what this does is it sort of ramps the effect in, so it's not just coming on and off. The onset of the effect comes in a little more slowly. So that way, again, let's do the mix all the way up. If you want your attack to come through, but then you want some tremolo, it'll do that. Let's hear the attack. See, it's not as choppy. That's different. I don't know if any tremolo pedal has that. Very, very cool. Before I forget, it's t-shirt shout out time. Mrs. GearGasms got this for me for Christmas. Obviously, with all these begging, pathetic, desperate YouTubers, the crap we say at the end of our videos, this just has it on the t-shirt. GearGasms number of the week. Since I've got the YouTube horror t-shirt on, 2,000. That's right, 2,000 subscribers. Crazy to think that out of the billions and billions of people, there are 2,100 of you out there with such low standards that you would subscribe to this channel. But I appreciate every one of you and your lazy eyes and your missing teeth or whatever the hell else you got going on that makes you, for some reason, relate to me. All right, I switched over to a little bit of gain. Again, we're still on the orange. I picked this guitar too because P90s are also, I feel, kind of neutral. I know in the comments you'll tell me they're anything but to me, they sort of straddle that spot between the humbucker and the single coil. The good thing about tremolo is, unlike so many other pedals, it'll sound and do the same thing whether you've got a dirty tone or a clean. Now, camera one. Now, one thing you'll notice with this bad boy is when it's distorted, because of the nature of gain, you don't really hear the drops as much. So I'm just using the gain on the orange amp. I'm not using a pedal. So I'd be real interested to hear what your thoughts are as far as pedal placement. My thought is this would definitely go after any kind of gain pedals. I would sort of set it with my modulation pedals. I don't know that I'd use it in a loop because it has the mix. It's all the way up in the mix so we can hear it. We're in the sine mode. Let's turn it on. I don't really hear anything with the distortion. Is it just me? So you don't really hear the modulation until the note dies out. It's almost like the gain overpowers it. That's interesting. Very interesting. I've never played with a tremolo pedal before. Can you tell? All right, bastards. Let's try the square wave. Let's get radical. I can hear it affecting the noise from the guitar. Listen. I'm at a rave. Does anybody have any Molly? I guess it sort of makes sense that since the dirt is coming after the pedal, that maybe if you threw a distortion pedal in front of this, it would chop that signal up appropriately, and then you would get all the wave and the flutter through this thing. I could hook up a pedal and prove it to you, but god damn, that's going to be a pain in the ass, and I'm not going to do it. Alright, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I forgot I do happen to have a dirt pedal that has battery power and is free of my board. So I am in fact going to try distortion in front of this thing, see what we get. Okay, I love that. Much better. So earlier I was talking about how I wouldn't put it in the loop. Oh, I guess if I want to use it with gain and not a dirt pedal, I want to use it with amp gain, it's got to be in the loop. So anyway, that's cool. So let's go back and let's start with the sine wave. Let's take it down a little bit. All right, let's do something else. All right, let's try it with the syncopated. This may come across actually a little bit more with some gain. Same old speed, same old shit. So you can hear that boom, ticka boom, ticka boom, ticka boom instead of ba 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 ba. It's boom, ticka boom, ticka boom. That's what syncopation means. Very cool if you don't really play guitar, kind of like me, and you want to impress your girlfriend. Just play one note. Play it right. You gotta shimmy your shoulders like that. Women love it. Don't know why. Moving on. Square wave. All right, let's go to ramp. Take the mix all the way up so we can hear it. Very cool. Well, what did we learn today? I didn't cover it at the beginning of the video, but tremolo is amplitude modulation as opposed to frequency modulation. And what that means, it modulates the signal by turning the volume up and down. We also learned that having the mix knob and also having that ramp mode really allows you to play with some new and interesting things, to still have a flavor of tremolo in your playing, but not have it overwhelm everything and allow your tact to come through. That's a very well thought through feature. We also learned the hard way that if you have this thing in front of your amp gain and it's not in the loop, it ain't gonna do shit. That's no bueno. If you want to use amp gain, this thing needs to be in your loop. If you don't want it in your loop, you want it in front of the amp, and you want to have a fuzzy tone going through it, you've got to put your fuzz, your overdrive, or your distortion in front of it. As always, I thank you for your time. Please, whatever you do in the next 7 days, keep it on the DL, but make sure you stay in one piece, because I really want to see you here again next week on GearGasms.